he did a really good job. If you really look at like his matchups and who was going against him, I mean, he went against some of the best in the league, and he did a really fine job. Now, he took his lumps early, and that happens. I mean, you got to be really happy as an organization, as a coach, as a player, on how he responded as the year went on.
Jaguars offensive line coach Phil Rauscher. It's 95 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention. Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Prime Time. Featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Ready to get it going on a beautiful but warm Thursday. I think that's going to be the theme. We're going to have a little heat in our life, that's for sure, from June all the way on. But welcome in XL Primetime. We'll try and cool you off with a little bit of sports talk, like the NBA Finals, like some Jacksonville Jaguar talk, college football, all sorts of things out there on a beautiful Thursday. And I got to get it going, with my Corona call. Get our feel for the weekend rolling, because guess what? It's finally here. Tonight, the NBA Finals actually start. 10 days after one club wrapped it up. I think either 7 or 8 days after the other club wrapped it up, because the Dallas Mavericks just tossed one win Minnesota's way. But who we got in the NBA Finals? We're going to make that our X poll. Mm-hmm. We're also going to do a little pick-up ball pick-em between the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. But first vibe, sirs. First vibe, who you like?
Well, listen, I'm in a conundrum, all right? Because the Laker in me could never, ever
That's fair.
root for Boston,
That's good.
okay? And then anything Dallas except Campo, I don't like. So I just want to see some good ball, though. That's all, though. I want to see some good ball. But I'm leaning a little bit towards the Mavs. Leaning
towards the Mavs.
To
okay.
the Mavs,
Matty, and like we said, by the time we get this bad boy going, I hope it does deliver on a level that we're expecting, because everyone's been talking about the quote, the big four, 2 on one side, 2 on the other. Who you like?
So there's this in the NBA. They always talk about the best player in the court typically wins, especially in the finals. So depends on who you think the best player in the court is. I think it's Luka. We're going to have that discussion. I think Luka and Kyrie are hot right now. There's no doubt about it. And we've heard Van Gundy say over and over he thinks it's the best duo ever in the playoffs, which is crazy. Best backcourt duo. Cray.
Cray talk.
Yeah. So, but right now they're playing really, really well, and I think it's a hot team right now. The Celtics have the better roster. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, a deep roster for sure.
Yeah, and if Tatum and Brown are hot, they absolutely will win it. But I just think it's, Tatum and Brown they're just so up and down, man.
Yeah, they are.
The other two are on fire.
And there's at least a little wrinkle of get evenness in this game, because like you said, Leon, Boston's going to boo the hell out of Kyrie Irving, and he's going to probably soak it up and say a little more, I can't hear you type of stuff. Porzingis is the guy that was in Dallas, and if he comes back and he's healthy, which we expect at least for him to try it tonight and see how it goes, we'll find out whether or not he's going to want to try and get even with Dallas. He went from New York to Dallas, then to Boston, and he's been hurt for 5 flipping weeks. It's been forever for him. But if he is out there and healthy, he can definitely make something happen.
Yeah, the vitriol for Kyrie Irving in this game is just going to be menacing. I mean, the Boston fans will give him I don't know. I just think that's going to motivate him. That's going to give him even more reason. Listen, he's one of the best finishers in the NBA. His handles are unprecedented. And Luka, and he's got I can't even call him a sidekick. His partner in crime, Luka, can shoot the lights out anytime he gets the ball. Yeah. Now he may be a liability defensively, but as far as offensively, he's going to put up some points.
Yeah, and that's the the essence of it all.
You say liability. I say he don't care.
Okay, all right.
He literally
I
does
was
not care about
I was
defense.
trying to be nice.
I think you're both right.
And I love him.
Yeah.
I
trying to
love
be
him, but
nice,
he just does not care about defense.
But I just feel like
he got the wave defense.
I feel like his transition, like in other words, he can anticipate a missed shot and then obviously be moving in transition. He's got the dad bod, and yet he can get it down the floor pretty fast. But I think he does what he needs to do.
He does.
Defensively.
He does.
And
There's
then,
a lot of waving going on with him though on defense.
Yeah. But yeah. Look, they.
You know, the
There's a lot
wave
of-
strip, the
there's
wave
a
try
lot-
and
There's
strip
a lot
stuff.
of, I could have got him.
Right.
That's going
A
on.
lot of that going
Yeah, a lot
on.
of that going
And I do think that they probably agree that you're going to do certain things to help us win. And looking at
Yeah, you're going to
everybody
give us the
else.
daggers in the other end, so
Yeah,
we're all
yeah.
right with you waving on defense.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So if we did a schoolyard pick'em, and you guys jump in 641-1010, you can get into the MyBookie Digital Studios. All you got to do is stream us on YouTube. Just search 1010XL and jump in there. But look, this is a good group of ball players on both sides. Now, Matty, you mentioned it. The Tatum Brown. What's the best way to put this? It's not a saga, but it's can they get it done?
It's just
and
weird.
The biggest
They're always
moment.
up and down. Always. And Tatum gets lost in games. Now the last two games of the Eastern Finals he played really well, but he will go stretches in games where you don't even know he's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, all right. So let's just do it. Like, is anyone going to not pick? All right, by the way, before we, you're leaning Mavs.
Yeah, I'm leaning Mavs.
I'm leaning Mavs.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm just going to say that right now. I'm leaning Mavs. But the depth of the Boston Celtics roster is pretty damn good. Drew Holiday and Derek White. Some of these guys that just do their thing, which is Holiday defense. White just bombing from the outside. And then obviously if Kristaps comes back, there's a lot of good in Green, as much as I don't want to admit it. Which way
And
are you
Al
leaning?
Horford too. I mean,
Yeah. He
He's
still
got some
gets
quality minutes in the playoffs.
He's
man.
as old as Tito right now, and he
He is.
still
He is.
gets the job done. Who are you leaning?
I think the Mavs are going to win it because I think they got the two best players.
So you're going Mavs too?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my gosh, what's going on? I may need to change my bet
7.
now.
Mavs and 7.
RJ, open gym Saturdays at noon.
Mavs and 7.
All of us are on the Mavs. There's something wrong.
By the way,
I'm
how
not
was
choosing
how
the
was-
Celtics. Joe, who do you take me for?
How was Saturday at noon?
I know.
Open gym?
I guess.
Good?
I guess we are. 3 of us are influenced by our Laker love.
Absolutely.
I guess that's what it is.
And the other one's influenced by the Laker hate. How was that open gym, by the way, on Saturday now, RJ?
Oh, it was really cool. Thanks to everybody for listening in on the show. We'll have another jam-packed show for you as we're going to be talking to analysts from both sides of the Boston Celtics as well as the Dallas Mavericks. So that'll be what to tune in for at noon on Saturday.
You know, it's funny. I was at Angie's getting a sub on the weekend.
Uh-huh.
Dude walked up to me and said, RJ show's on Saturday. I love it.
Mhm.
Said, I love you guys' station. Now RJ's on Saturdays. I called him. I think he was your first caller, RJ.
Oh, that's
by the
pretty
way.
cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
really
yeah, shout
cool.
out John. Yeah,
really
first
cool.
caller.
Really cool. He was very happy about your show, too. So well done, brother.
Good
Well
job,
done.
bro.
Yes. Yeah. Talking ball. That's what it's all about.
You're still
All right.
still in that seniors league. You playing at the gym.
Man, I would listen. It's not a seniors league, man. It's not. We get after it.
All right, I'm just messing with you.
You just back people down, bro.
There you
Come on.
go, in the paint.
All right, so I can't believe that we're all, and I do now understand it, is that we're looking at 3 people that root for the Lakers, and then another one that, like we said, he's got a little Laker anti in him. So, but I am surprised you're not going Boston, man. I am just a little bit surprised.
You know why?
by
Because
that.
I'm just not. I'm not buying those two, man.
Mhm.
You can get away from that stuff. I think when you're not looking at a team that's got the two type players that the Mavs have.
Yeah.
And the way they're playing and how they're both playing very consistent in throughout the West playoffs, you can't get away with that in the finals. Like if they lose it or go to sleep or get lost for a game or two, they're in trouble.
All right, so next best player, you got to make a decision. Tatum, Brown, Kyrie. Who would be your next guy? You doing?
Wait, I'm taking Kyrie first.
He's taking Kyrie 1.
I'm taking Kyrie 1. I'm taking the ball handler.
I do
I'm taking
love
the
him.
facilitator. I'm
Yeah.
taking the finisher.
I'm taking Luka, man.
All right, well, listen, I'll take my second pick. This is a pickup ball game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We're playing full court pickup basketball outside. My second pick will be Luka. Absolutely, it'll be Luka. Yes.
So you've taken
I mean,
2
he's,
Mavs.
like you just said. You said liability on defense is saying it nicely. He don't care about that.
Kyrie's not much better on defense. Okay.
Well, he's not, but he's a facilitator. He's a finisher.
Yeah, he plays his share on that side, on that end. So your first 5 then, all right?
My first 5?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go Kyrie. I'm gonna go Luka.
That is
I'm gonna
wild.
go I'm gonna go Tatum. Then I'm gonna go likely. He can't shoot a free throw to save his life though. But as far as energy, defense, in the paint, that kind of guy, I'm taking that guy. And then my last guy, I'm taking White. I'm taking the defender.
Okay.
Taking him.
And look, by the way,
Because he's a difference maker.
like I said, he can absolutely shoot the lights out of it if he gets going too.
Yeah. So those would be my 5.
5, Matty.
I'm going Luka. I'm going Kyrie. I'm going Kyrie too, actually.
See,
Even though it should be Tatum.
yeah, exactly.
And I'll go Tatum 3. I'll go Brown 4, and I'll go PJ Washington 5.
Oh, okay. RJ.
Yeah, my 5 would be Luka at the 1, Drew Holiday at the 2, Luka at the 3, Tatum at the 4, Daniel Gafford
Wait,
as
you
my
had 2
5.
Lucas.
He went 2
Luka at the
Lucas,
one.
which is good.
2 Lucas.
Yeah, which is good. And look, you can come
I
out.
mean, I'd go Luka if I could, RJ. You can't have Luka twice, bro.
Wait, did I say Luka twice?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Kyrie as my 1. I'm sorry. Kyrie as my 1, Drew
okay.
Holiday as my 2, Luka as my 3.
Okay.
You would take Kyrie and Drew Holiday over Luka.
No,
Like,
you're
in other
saying
words-
as like your 5, right?
No,
Yeah, but this is a
this is a
pick'em.
draft.
This
This
is
is
This
a
is a draft.
draft.
Do what
man.
you pick. We playing
Who's your
pickup
first?
basketball. Who you picking first?
My first pick would be Luka.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
who's your
all right.
second pick?
My second pick would. I'm staying with it. It would be Drew Holiday.
Okay, so
Wow.
you're going defense. That's wild. I would
Drew
go.
Holiday over Kyrie
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I
over
would-
Tatum.
I would go Luka, Tatum, and then I'm telling you, if Kristaps is healthy, I'm taking him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I am taking him.
Drew Holiday. I'm sorry.
And then I'm coming back with Kyrie, and then I would pick one of the shooters. You know, and it could be White, but Drew is a unbelievable defender.
Wait, you got Kyrie falling all the way to 4?
Yeah. Because
He must
Kristaps.
have lost a lot of pickup games.
Yeah, but we're talking. There's a man in the middle, dude. Man in the middle. Okay, that matters, especially when all you got to do, if he, like I said, if he is healthy, all you're doing is just tossing it in, and heck, they may get to him foul wise, whatever. But no, it would be a hard decision not to go with him. You didn't have him in your first 5.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, which is
No,
unbelievable.
I had Kyrie 2.
Yeah.
And I thought about him at 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think what's happening, as much as I love watching Kyrie, is there is a little extra Kyrie love floating around these days. Like all of a sudden we're inching him back up, and it just barely happened for him and Luka combo down the stretch. And even the owner, which I love, Mark Cuban, when he said it, he's like, Kyrie needed to make a decision himself on how he was going to fit in to make sure the team succeeded, and essentially what he was saying, to make sure Luka succeeded.
By the way, speaking of Luka, 29, 10, and 9 he's averaging in the playoffs. An assist away from a triple-double in the playoffs.
Yeah. And he has been uber productive. And like we said, it's not like he is just on one end of the floor. He is doing work on both sides. All right, RJ, let me know when you got the X poll set up, and we'll throw that out there. It is such a simple one, but I am a little surprised that we went 4 across the board, either taking the Mavs or leaning the Mavs, but go ahead and give it to them. It's real easy.
Absolutely. Our X poll question, the XO Primetime X poll question, brought to you by the good folks at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. Who do you have winning the NBA Finals? And while we're at it, in how many games do you have your team winning the NBA Finals? Search us on X, simply at 1010XL, and give us your reply.
Okay, so some of the lines right now, you're looking at 6.5 as far as the point spread to start. You're looking at over under 215.5. Okay, so they expect it to live around 108, 107, something in that neighborhood. Mavericks versus the Celtics on the money line is plus 200 for the Mavs, minus 200 for the Celtics. And then you're taking a look at, most people are leaning obviously on the Celtic side of this because they're the favorite, and there's more money going on that side, at least for the here and now. We'll see whether that changes as we get a little closer.
Well, you know, the Celtics win this title. You know, they're tied with the Lakers for the most titles. So if they win this one,
This
they
is
go
important.
they go one up on us, bro.
Yeah, this is important. That's why you don't root for them.
exactly.
Okay?
I'm
2
gonna have to
years
change
ago when
mine.
they made it.
Oh, you got to change your pick now.
No, I might have to now.
Yeah. 2 years ago when you don't root for them.
No, you
Okay.
don't.
There is no way, no how. But like I said, I came into this like, I'm going to set that to the side, and there is something about what Luka and Kyrie are doing right now. But I feel like sometimes we ignore just how dang deep Boston is.
Now, did they come Were they RJ? Were they the 6th seed and made it to the championship, or they were the 6th seed?
They were the 4, I think, the Mavs, right?
The Mavs were the 5 seed.
5 seed, okay.
Yeah,
5
because
seed.
they went out on the road taking on both Oklahoma City
State, yeah.
and the T-Wolves, which is pretty good when you think about that.
As well as the LA Clippers.
Yeah, you're right. Second couple of rounds were like that. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so just jump in on that. Let's set up a little NFL talk. And in the offseason, you have seen your football team do a pretty good job of securing talent when it comes to bringing starters in. Now, you can debate it all day long. Did they get the best starters that were available in free agency? Did they run the draft properly and get guys that can come in and immediately do something? You certainly can look at it that way. But for the here and now, and we have said this a bunch over the time that Shad Khan has owned this football team, is that he's willing to spend money. He will write a check. And Trent Baalke, whether you like him, love him, question him, support him, however you want to look at it, he has at least been pretty busy this offseason after a quiet offseason last year, right? Went out and made the deal for Calvin Ridley. They didn't go out and sign a bunch of other guys last year. But this year, they were aggressive. And they were one of the bigger spenders when it comes to the offseason. And you have to give them credit. Did they do enough with the money that they spent to make sure that they're putting themselves in position? All right, so here it is. The highest valued franchises, this is according to Spot Track, highest valued franchises and where they were spending-wise as far as the offseason is concerned, because the Dallas Cowboys jump out, surprisingly, as a team that did not do a whole hell of a lot. And maybe that's why CeeDee Lamb is all just kind of ticked off sitting on the sidelines, because he's waiting for his deal. But when you take a look at the amount of money, the teams that spent the most in the offseason, the Lions committed to, now this doesn't mean they spent it all, committed to $626 million. The Philadelphia Eagles committed to $558 million. The Panthers, nearly $500 million. And your Jaguars check in fourth at $437 million. Will that be money well spent?
We'll see. Well, how much did they spend on Josh? Was that 150 or 120 on Josh Allen's contract?
Well,
I want to say it was 120.
Yeah.
150 seems a little high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably about 120. So, but I mean, yeah, you know, I think the Jaguars spent money on
150.
150. Wow, that's saying
5-year 150.
So that's almost a third of.
42. That's according to Mark Long for the AP.
That's almost a third of what that they spent on the rest of free agents, but they had to get that deal done. You had to. Yeah, I say
you absolutely.
I say you had to because he showed up and he showed out.
Yeah.
And when that resonates in the locker room. If your guy you picked, you developed, goes out and shine, just like Trevor, goes out and shine, he gets the bag. So Josh Allen had to get that money.
And where is that? How close are they to one overall in that? So they're at 437, and Lions are at 626, right?
Yeah.
So even signing Trevor,
Mm-hmm.
if they add his signing bonus, it's not gonna. It would probably put them in third though, easily.
Yeah, it'll leapfrog two teams in front of them, or maybe one, like
no,
you're
just
saying.
one. They're not gonna. And the Eagles are 558. They're not gonna.
Yeah, and
because they're only gonna count the signing bonus, right?
I would think. Well, actually, whatever salary is applied to this year will count. It won't be a lot. It'll be a low salary.
Right,
figure,
it'll be a low number, right?
Yeah, so it's the overall number.
Right.
But it definitely is worth getting into, because this football team trying to make sure that they don't screw up again by not getting guys that they think can help this football team on the line of scrimmage, going at, Mitch Morse, getting after the passer and Eric Armstead, all the other decisions that they made to bring guys in with experience to try and help this football team win. So we'll kind of take a look at that a little bit more as we go along this afternoon. You guys can jump in 641-1010. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can jump in the MyBookie Digital Studios. Just stream us on YouTube, throw a chat comment up there, and then just start talking NBA Finals and the money that the Jaguars spent. Was it worth it? Are you going to see a winner after a busy free agency offseason and the draft?
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Step into the arena. Step on the field. Step up to the plate. 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Exciting news from All Pro Roofing. Effective right now, you can get an instant roof quote. Just click the Instant Roof Quote tab on their website. Whether you're in need of roofing, exterior siding, or windows, All Pro Roofing is your local partner for quality craftsmanship. Click the Instant Roof tab and voila! Get an instant quote. It's that simple. Click on the Instant Roof Quote tab today at allproroofingllc.com.
License number CCC 1327056.
CDC 060138.
Your cooling system isn't working. Maybe somebody showed up with a portable electronic device. Then they discussed with you what your options are. Maybe they gave you an estimate that seems like an awful lot of money. What's the smart thing to do? When the situation merits a second opinion, get a Mike Merritt opinion. Yes, the Mike Merritt Comfort Team shows up with hand tools. We've never been able to fix an air conditioning problem with a tablet. Mike Merritt has been the trusted name for more than 30 years because there's never any hocus pocus. The Merritt team will walk you through the diagnostic steps up close and personal and show you exactly what you need. And the Mike Merritt price is likely to be far less because there's never an overtime charge, and the Merritt team doesn't work on commission. So remember, when it comes to the health of your cooling system, a second opinion can only help, and a Mike Merritt opinion can save you money. Florida license CACO 50384.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Let's go!
Join us this Saturday, June 8th at 7 o'clock in the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena as your Sharks take on the Tulsa Oilers. Great seats are still available. Ask about our awesome family package. 4 tickets, 4 food or merchandise vouchers, and a $25 Al's Pizza gift card. Get yours today. Call 904-621-0700 or visit JacksonSharks.com. Shark Tank is having a luau. So break out your flip-flops and grass skirts and come join us. Check out the Polynesian dancers and learn the hula at Shark Fest, our pregame party. The first 1,000 fans will get a free leg. It's going to be a totally tubular night.
Jacksonville Sharks, Tulsa Oilers.
That's Saturday, June 8th, 7 o'clock. For tickets, call 904-621-0700 or visit JacksonSharks.com. That's 904-621-0700 or JackSharks.com. Let's go!
Let's go. Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous, don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Ever buy a gym membership but don't ever use it? Who hasn't? E.T. here, sports fans, and instead, I send plants and flowers to people I love from Kuhn Flowers, home of the beautiful window display on Beach Boulevard. Now that's money well spent. Kuhn Flowers.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Their dreams come true. In the new era for college basketball with the portal, NIL, one of the things that Dan Hurley talked about. It's important to me that my players, they come to UConn because they want to be a part of this UConn history and that they want to play for me. And that's got to be the driver. Not anything else. Not about what kind of NIL you can get. He wants them to come and commit to his kind of system. And that commitment, we saw that throughout this tournament.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
That may be the most editorial commentary I think I've ever heard from Jim Nantz.
Not only that, it was 2 years ago, so not only that,
yeah.
Even then you're like, he's kind of lost his fastball a little bit. Back then, just listen to that little Jimmy. It's different in golf. He's still got it in golf. But basketball, it's good that they moved on. It's good.
Why is the NIL the boogeyman all of a sudden? Why is it the boogeyman?
All of a sudden, now that young people get to make money, now you got a bunch of old people who never got to make the money they made are all upset about it. That's why.
Okay.
By the way, this is Gran Torino saying this right now. I don't.
You call me. I'm not Gran Torino. I just speak the truth. So if you want to call that Gran Torino, you can call it Gran Torino. I don't care.
And look, it ain't a bunch of old people that's just getting mad at it. It's a lot of people wondering what's going on, and I don't.
And overreacting.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so let's set this up because, like you said, why is the NIL the boogeyman? I get what you're saying, but let's pair that up with, and that was Jimmy Nantz calling the UConn win with Dan Hurley that these players are going to want to come there, and he basically created artistry on the floor. And then what did he do? He backed it up, and they were the first to repeat since the Gators did it, and they won again this past year. So you're thinking to yourself, Dan Hurley. They were talking about maybe trying to pry him away, get him to Kentucky. Remember when Calipari decides to step away and leave Lexington and go to Fayetteville? And you're like, well, he said no to that. And then out of the blue, overnight, you heard this chatter start on social, on X, that Dan Hurley may be the target of the Lakers. First thing I thought of was hell yeah, compared to J.J. Redick. At least there's a guy with a
more sense.
With a resume. But then the other half of me is like, does he really want to jump into the National Basketball Association and try and manage LeBron and all the foolishness in La La Land?
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of interesting if he were to take that on.
Yeah.
So listen to this. Mike Francesa has Hurley on. Yeah, this was yesterday, right, RJ? Almost positive. Yeah, he had him on yesterday because I was reading the quote on X. And it's interesting that he said this, and maybe this is actually where X started to lend some credence to this. But here is his comment on the idea of actually if he were to step up and take on a job in the NBA.
I do aspire, one day if the right NBA situation were to come along, I do aspire to
really
to
that's good. That's nice
myself.
to know. Really, okay. You'd like to take a shot at the NBA.
I mean, if the right situation where an organization wants a tone setter to to come in and instill a culture, young players and an organization that wants to pursue championships.
Would it have to be in the Northeast with your wife, or would she? Because I don't know if she'd go all over the country, would she?
She's the boss.
The wife question, you knew that was coming, but it's not. What did you think as far as what he said?
Well, I mean, he wants to challenge. I mean, in his eyes, he thinks he has accomplished back-to-back national championships. Yeah. What else could he aspire to as far as college basketball goes? I mean, he's won the championship. Well, yeah, it could be 3 straight. I mean, but
Saban of
you know,
college basketball.
Yeah, that could happen. But I mean, just like Coach Johnson when he was at Miami, all right, won a national championship, had a chance to win 3 in his tenure. He was there. And the next step was the NFL. Could he do the same thing he did in college at the NFL level? And I can understand that. Once you feel like you've done enough at this certain level, you always want to aspire to be greater at another different level.
I just think that we're at the point now, and you knew this would happen, is, now that Nick Saban has retired, now that Jim Harbaugh finally won a national championship at his alma mater, has decided to take another run at the NFL, and now that Dan Hurley potentially could be leaving for the NBA, now all of a sudden, the mean old boogeyman NIL is back, and it's running off coaches, and it's just so ridiculous.
Well, let's just
it's
make
just
this
such
clear.
a lazy argument.
Hang on now. I don't think people are assessing the idea of Hurley possibly going to the Lakers and immediately putting an NIL. This caused this stamp.
You might want to look
on
on social media and it's not just like fans; it's like people in the media too.
Well, okay, but let's. When I rely on X for intelligent intel.
Well, it's also
I'm
media
in trouble.
people. I'm telling you, it's also media people,
Like,
very
what are they
respected media people, saying that it's the downfall of college sports, which is ridiculous. This is, 2 years ago, all these coaches were saying this isn't sustainable, and guess what? Not only is it sustainable, it's even more popular. It's even more money on the table now.
Oh yeah.
And now, guess what? They're revenue sharing now. So yes, it is sustainable, and it'll get even better in the coming years too.
Yeah, but let's just say Dan Hurley were to walk away and take on the Lakers job. Like Leon's saying, you aspire to go to that highest level, and Nick Saban decided to walk away. And we all have these theories on what led to that. NIL had something to do with it. And he basically said when they lost that game, the look on the players' faces told him everything he needed to see. They were worried about everything other than losing. And so it isn't just NIL, it's the effect of NIL on the human condition.
He also said, oh, by the way, a big factor in an ESPN interview with Chris Lowe. By the way, he's 72 too, Nick Saban.
Yes, he has the right to step away at any time for any reason.
He said, I didn't know that I could continue to go through the grind of coaching the whole year. It's become a year-long process, and it has been a year-long process for a while now, not just because of NIL.
Right.
So his point was, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
translation. And I'm 72, and Miss Terry wants to go do something other than watch me coach football.
Yeah, more work than I'm willing to get into it.
And it's also a power struggle. A lot of these coaches understand now with the NIL money that these kids have taken away some of their power. And a lot of coaches, a lot of coaching staffs, they like to have a chokehold on their players. They like to be able to dangle the scholarship. Hey, if you don't do what I do, I'm taking this away from you. You're going back home, all that kind of stuff. Now, you got kids saying, hey, coach, man, I had 1,400 yards rushing last year. You might have to up the ante. You got to pay me some more money. I'm just saying.
Very, very true.
Just saying.
RJ, let's get to that because that is a definite component to all this.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So it's kind of that, but it's just odd. We're talking about colleges and college football. So BetOnline just came out with its updated win totals.
Right.
Guess what your Florida Gators are sitting at now? Remember we were saying that everybody's fired up about Florida now. More and more people starting to say Gators could be a team that, 8, 9 wins.
Yeah.
Billy could be coach of the year.
That's kind of a little bit of a pipe dream
give me your
right
guess.
now.
Give me your guess.
Where they got Florida? The win total?
Win total.
8.
Yeah, I was going to say 8.
8?
Yeah.
4.5.
Ooh. Whoa.
4.5.
That went from 5.5?
From 5.5 to 4.5.
I was just we were just gonna kind of going outrageous in the
Yes.
other direction with all the hype.
4.5.
I was hoping to be an inspiration, and I said, "Hey, you 4.5."
Knowles are at 9.5. Dogs are at 10.5.
I think the Canes have to have gained a game based on that.
Yeah.
Based on that, what do you think the Canes are at, Leon?
Right now, it better be at 9.5.
Joe?
9.
9.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I figure they gained a game.
4.5 for those Gators.
Look, I have no faith in what's going on.
I might have to put money down on that, actually.
I have made it very,
4.5.
very clear. You're going to go over 4.5.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Y'all going to win 5 games.
I
Not
have,
against us, but y'all.
I have faith in his ability to recruit. I don't have faith in a whole lot else, and we'll see what it looks like.
You don't have faith in the operations, what you're saying?
No, I'll be pleasantly surprised. As I said, the product is what you build everything off of, and the product ain't so hot.
So let me ask you this question. Okay, I'm throwing it out here. If the Gators go 9-3, and the Bulldogs go 11-1, Billy Napier, who wins SEC Coach of the Year?
Depends on what games he wins.
Yeah, Kirby's going to have to take a back seat.
Kirby, I
Billy's
don't
getting
think
Billy's getting him some
Kirby
hard.
didn't win it. They were 13-0 last year, and Kirby didn't win it.
That is right. He didn't he?
No, Eli won it.
Eli, yeah.
Yeah.
Drinkowitz with that comeback after he was.
Let me
close
tell you
to getting
something.
Fired.
If Billy Napier goes 9-3, he will win Coach of the Year.
He'll be the Coy.
That's going to happen.
He'll be the Coy. All right. So stay on this subject. You guys can jump in 641-1010 just as far as where you think the effect of NIL has on these coaches. Because I'm looking. All right, Danny Hurley signed a 6-year, $32 million deal with UConn last year, and he'd be looking at making over $10 million annually to coach the Lakers and finally dip his toe into that lake, that NBA Laker lake, and see if he can do it. He's a demanding individual. I don't know whether professional players are even going to look at him and listen. They may tune him out within the first month because he is kind of operates kind of at a tyrant type of level. So anyway, you guys jump in on that and whether you think the NIL has more to do with it, as Matt's suggesting that, or actually let me rephrase that people are saying that NIL is chasing guys off. You guys get into that. It is XL Primetime. Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Searcy, and RJ.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
I think we're ready for a tournament. We are so flippin' good.
Attention Googans, come drive, drop, and dink with the drill Friday, June 14th.
That's our first tournament.
At the Fruit Cove Recreation Club. Cash prizes, free swag, beginner's clinic, and Jeff E.T. and I in an exhibition match.
It looks so easy.
Go to thefruitcove.com and click on the 1010 flyer. To sign up your men's, women's, or mixed team, that's thefruitcove.com.
We are so good at pickleball.
Sponsored by good friends at Injury Care Centers and Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Mia here. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you never miss a shot to cash in on a play. You can even live stream and bet on the games right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you'll need to decide, cash out or let it ride. MyBookie really makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays. And new boosts are now posted on the daily. It's more than just a sportsbook. Buzzer beaters, underdog upsets, and a community to share in all of the sweats. Give yourself a head start today and play with house money using promo code 1010XL when you make your first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I am Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our returning champion, a basketball court sweat mopper from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Louis Cramp.
Great to be back, Merv.
There's only one category left on the board, Louis. People you can trust to repair your air conditioner. Your 10 seconds starts now.
Well, I'm pretty handy with tools around. So my Uncle Steve used to fix transmissions, so maybe he could. Okay, sorry. I guess just call the guys at Bueller?
That's right, Louis. The highly trained technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing have the tools and the experience to service any make and model of home air conditioner to make sure that you are cool.
You sure I can't just have a quick...
Yeah, we're done for today.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 6, 2018, LeBron James passes Michael Jordan's record for most 30-point games in NBA playoff history.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy, higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
With Verizon, now everyone can get our best phone deals.
Even if I'm new?
Even if you're new.
What if I've been with Verizon forever?
Oh, yeah. You see, new and existing customers get the amazing iPhone 15 with tons of storage on us. With any iPhone trade-in, any model, any condition. Guaranteed with unlimited ultimate.
Here's one. What if?
That's a yes. There's a deal out there for everyone. Only at Verizon. $829.99, 128 gigabyte only device payment or full retail purchase with new or upgrade smartphone line on unlimited ultimate plan. Minimum $90 a month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Trade-in terms apply.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing will last 2 to 3 times longer than a shingle roof? If you want a better roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Schedule your free estimate today at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
Jags fans, the schedule's finally here, and you don't want to miss these matchups. Whether you want to become a season ticket member, catch 3 or more games with a bundle at the bank, or experience the season with Prowl Pass, there's a plan for every fan. Get locked in by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Experience Jaguars game day your way at the bank this fall.
American Electrical is looking for bright minds and hard workers to help light up North Florida. This community continues to grow, and now you can grow your career with a company that will make sure you succeed through commitment. American Electrical even has its own academy dedicated to training select students the electrical trade, and the best news, it's free of charge. Log on to american-electrical.com to find out more. They're leading the way in electrical contractors on the First Coast. American-electrical.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
Cranking it out on a Thursday afternoon, XL Primetime. Talking Jaguar football, we got some sound from assistant coaches that we'll get to coming up in just a little bit. Talking transfer portal, NIL, because those are the two. If you're going to put a kind of a culprit list together in the college sports world of how things have changed, how things have changed for a fan, for a university, for a coach, heck, for a player, transfer portal and NIL, are at the top of the list because they have changed things mightily for every one of those categories. So the question is, and I tweeted it out, you guys can jump in, that we're talking, is NIL to blame? Is the transfer portal to blame for the way we look at college sports right now? I'm not putting the NIL at the feet of this hot, juicy rumor that Dan Hurley might be going to the Lakers. I'm putting it at the idea that he's looking at a plum job, and they haven't been able to hire anybody yet. They haven't been able to go get a guy, and they maybe –
because nobody wants to play for the guy who keeps running off coaches.
Well, they're thinking he ain't running coaches off. Coaches are running themselves off, okay? And Rob Palenta, he could share some responsibility in this with the way they construct that roster. If I'm Dan Hurley, though, I'm looking at L.A. and saying this is if I want to be in a marquee spot in my basketball world, hell yeah, the Lakers is it. But he's not going there to develop players. He's got not an AARP card carrying LeBron James, but close to be an AARP card carrying LeBron James.
I mean, the decision the Lakers make has got to be far and beyond LeBron James. He's going to be 40 years old. How many more years is he going to have left? Right. Maybe 1 or 2. All right? And he's got to sign that one-year option. He hasn't signed it yet.
No, he's not.
So, I mean, technically, he's still a free agent. He's still a free agent right now.
He's smart not
But this
to
has
be.
got to be something about the Lakers moving forward down, somewhere in the future, developing, like RJ was talking about, developing their young talent that they have.
Yeah.
I mean, because here's the thing, though. I don't know Hurley's mannerism, but they say he's tough and hard-nosed on players. He holds them accountable. I mean, can LeBron be taught again? Can he be held accountable? Can he be the type of guy? And I think LeBron's the type of guy where he says, "Hey, I want you to be hard on me." I do. I really do.
I think LeBron wants Dan Hurley. I think that's why they're going after him.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's why they're going to draft Bronny, who wouldn't even play in a D-League team, but they're going to draft Bronny because LeBron wants Bronny.
Yeah, well, they will.
He's running that team.
Yeah, and they will cave to his wishes if it's a second-round pick or it's way late in terms of where they value the end of the NBA draft. They'll look at that, and as certainly, as you just said, he's a free agent. He still has them by the short hairs right now. And he could say, I'm not signing until you give me an indication. And look, he claims that he doesn't want to have an influence on where Bronny goes or what happens to him. That's a lie.
Of course it is.
Yeah. But
no one's picking that kid.
I know where Bronny
I don't even
should
think
go.
they have to draft him.
Unless LeBron.
I'll tell you where you should go. Back to class.
Probably.
Develop his skills.
Yeah,
Try to be a starter on the team first.
I agree. And he
try to be a starter in the Big Ten first? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, let's start. Let's take baby steps.
Well, it's kind of like we joke around that he's not going to – we joke around Luke Fortner. Is he going to get any stronger? We don't know.
Yeah.
Bronny is not going to grow anymore. So he is a 6'1" prospect that has to figure out what he can do to turn heads on the next level. And you're right. He ain't ready. That's for sure when you're averaging 5 points a game.
Yeah, and you're not starting on a very bad team.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Luke Fortner was way better college player than Bronny James.
You get my point.
I
We're
do
just
get your
saying
point.
he's not getting any stronger, and Bronny ain't growing anymore.
No.
That's the two things I'm putting together there is that
he might get stronger.
Yeah, you can wish. Yeah, he might get a little bit.
Come on, man. Don't give up on him yet. You might.
Come on. I'm not giving up on him. I'm just using him as an example. You know, he played 6 years of college ball and then already 2 years of the NFL. That's 8 years of big boy football. He is kind of where he is.
Yeah, he is.
Right? Did you get stronger year 2 to year 3 to year 4 to year 5 in the NFL?
Yeah, well, at some particular point, I knew that.
Yeah, you did. You got a lot bigger.
I ceiling.
Yeah, I think
and
you
then
were what
I
you
was
were.
just trying to maintain.
I saw your pictures. You showed me the picture when you signed with the Steelers in the Steeler uniform.
Yeah.
You got a lot bigger.
Yeah, I got stronger.
Yeah. I mean,
mostly
significantly
in the trunk.
bigger. Yeah.
And quicker.
Yeah, but I'm saying
quicker.
In the trunk. Yeah.
Yeah, but
and better.
Here's the biggest point though. He went from being a first-round pick to being slightly doubted second half of his rookie year.
No, I agree. I'm not comparing him to
to
Fortner,
turning on
obviously.
the Jets in the second year and not ever looking back.
No, of course. I mean, I'm not comparing the two. Clearly, one's all pro and one guy just lost his job. All I'm saying is he can get bigger. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, his biggest downfall, Fortner, is he's got to get stronger in the trunk. And what I mean by the trunk, the lower body.
Oh, yeah.
All right? He's got to be able to dip those hips, get underneath guys, and finish them. And that's where that's why he struggled. He struggled last year against guys who were 330, 340, those one technique guys where he's got to take them on one-on-one, on passing and run protection. He just got bulldozed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the essence of it, that's for sure. And so anyway, back to the idea of the NIL and whether or not this is the culprit that would be driving a Dan Hurley out of Storrs, Connecticut to start looking at L.A. and maybe figure out whether or not he wants.
Well, here's what's troubling to me, Joe. About 5 years ago, before NIL was ever produced, transfer portal and all that kind of stuff. Now, I mean, what I'm seeing now is a lot of these coaches are getting on these podiums and saying NIL is doing this, or my roster's this. But you know what? What I didn't see 5 years ago, I didn't see coaches saying, you know what? It's unfair what's going on with these players. You know, they're paying my salary. They're paying the universities. They're making all this illustrious amount of money for all these people, and some of them can't go home for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them can't go home for Thanksgiving. Some of them. I didn't see any coaches. I didn't see any coaches 5 years ago before all this started.
Right.
Get on any podium or any platform and kind of say, hey, you know what? We need to be doing something for these players that are amassing all these millions of dollars that we're enjoying
They did not.
fruitfully. I didn't see that.
You are correct, sir.
But I see
there were a few who say we need to start paying them. Well, there were a few. There were.
But not enough.
To your point,
not enough.
A vast majority were saying, you know, we're, at least took the Dabo Swinney stance of we start paying players. You know, maybe it's time for me to look for another job or whatever. However he said, look for another profession. The coaches don't like it because it makes their job a lot harder. Okay, their ability to control their roster, their ability to build their roster, it makes it much more difficult. I don't think they give a flip about the money, and I've talked to many of them, and many of them say they don't care. Now, they don't like the fact that it gets young guys money quickly, and it changes their ability to work and then their motivation to work. That's certainly an issue, but they can get through that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the idea of I don't know who's on my roster from year to year, so I understand all of that. But I think it's different with people outside of that bubble, outside of the football bubble, the college basketball bubble.
Mm-hmm.
People looking in, they see it and they think, well, the kid just left high school. He hasn't played a down of college football, and someone's offering him $13 million to play quarterback.
Yeah.
So they're all saying, this is ridiculous. He hasn't played it down. You know what? It might be ridiculous, but it's where we are right now. And if there are people that are willing to pay it, it's going to continue to happen. And you know, I keep hearing people, and you keep hearing people on TV, you keep seeing people writing about it, and that someday, you know, the boosters are going to say this is enough, I'm not getting a good rate of return. And guess what? Someday hasn't happened now in 3 years, and they keep giving more money every year. So for all you guys to keep saying that it's going to happen and the bottom's going to fall out, it's not. It's not going to, because the overriding thing is people want to win. And boosters that have a lot of money and love their universities want to win.
I just figured we figured out that there's a lot of money out there for the people who have it.
A boatload of money out
for the people who have it. But they're going to keep being asked to now pay more to the university so the player can be paid, and then obviously keep it going on the NIL side.
Like, do you realize how much money like the universities are going to get if they put, like, let's just say a waste management logo on their field during a game?
Yeah.
I mean, there's money to be had everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to 9 games in the SEC, you know how much more money they're going to get from ESPN? Or if ESPN says, you know what, we're tapped out, we can only do 8, then they'll say, all right, well, we're going to go 9, we're going to get Amazon involved.
Right, and they'll sublet that bad boy.
Yes. I mean, there's so much money out there, and the more money they make, the greater the percentage the players deserve.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of boosters, Shapiro's talking now. You know, he's out of jail. He was talking about Nevin Shapiro. Yeah, I saw a little interview. He was talking about
infamous.
The infamous Nevin Shapiro, the NIL before NIL.
Right.
So he was talking on the air on this podcast stand. He was saying that when Devin Heston was a freshman at Miami, he said that he asked the coach. He said, "Hey, coach, why isn't Devin Heston playing in the games or whatever?" And he said he needs to be playing the games. You got a Ferrari in the garage and you won't drive it. And he said, if you don't start playing them, I'm going to turn off the faucet. I said, wow.
Is that Randy?
I don't. No, it couldn't have been Randy. It had to be a Coker. It had to. Devin was with. Yeah, he was with Coker.
Sounds right.
I guess that was right.
Yeah. So he said that he told the coach that he was going to turn off the faucet, and then he played him the next game, and he had back. He's of course,
this is what he's saying.
This
right?
is what he's saying, of
Right.
course. And he said Devin Hester, first game had a punt return for a touchdown. Second game had a punt return touchdown, but he was taking all the credit for it. And I was just thinking, you was just thinking about NFL. You were saying how much guys spend money for their university to win, and I overheard his conversation on it.
He built a Ponzi scheme because he wanted his
Well,
university
I always
to win
felt
so
like-
badly and stole millions.
Yes,
from
he
people.
did.
I always felt like Nevin did not give as much as he said he gave, because whenever they did an investigation, it was kind of light in terms of his contributions. Like Luke was throwing more Benjamin Jaw's way than old Nevin was.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know about that, bro.
I don't know about that one, Doc.
Yeah, he was spending some dough, man.
Yeah, he was spending some dough. Listen,
You driving around Biscayne Bay in a yacht,
bro,
you're spending dough. Bro.
Listen, I was when he came out the tunnel in the smoke.
You knew?
I was offended. I really was. I was offended.
You knew he
bro.
had bought that opportunity.
Yes, I know he had to.
All
bro.
5'4" of them running out in the smoke, huh?
All right, into the 3 o'clock hour. We'll keep it going. You got some predictions that you want to throw our way as far as the NBA Finals. They begin tonight on the MyBookie Digital Studios. Max says Mavs in 6. Jeremy, I like Boston for the series. You got all sorts of other comments off the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, so definitely jump in. Let us know who you like in the NBA Finals, where this NIL thing is taking us. Our college coaches picking up and moving on because of the transfer portal and the NIL. We'll keep going on that subject. We get into the 3 o'clock hour. A couple of the assistant coaches we want you to hear from for your Jacksonville Jaguars as far as what they think this team is looking like right now during OTAs and minicamp coming up next week.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Dan Hicken.
Doggone it, I'm one of the most beloved grassroots folk heroes of America.
Mornings.
Little kids love me, parents love me, everybody loves me. Now you come on out here and love me or I'm gonna kick your little...
On 1010XL.
I'm telling you, people love me.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Let's go! Join us this Saturday, June 8th at 7 o'clock in the ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena as your Sharks take on the Tulsa Oilers. Great seats are still available. Ask about our awesome family package. 4 tickets, 4 food or merchandise vouchers, and a $25 Al's Pizza gift card. Get yours today. Call 904-621-0700 or visit jacksonsharks.com. Shark Tank is having a luau, so break out your flip-flops and grass skirts and come join us. Check out the Polynesian dancers and learn the hula at Shark Fest, our pregame party. The first 1,000 fans will get a free lay. It's going to be a totally tubular night.
Jacksonville Sharks, Tulsa Oilers.
That's Saturday, June 8th, 7 o'clock. For tickets, call 904-621-0700 or visit jacksonsharks.com. That's 904-621-0700 or jacksharks.com.
Let's go. Let's go.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
It's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker, card games, and hospitality. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with poker games of all limits and easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em. And it's not just poker. With delicious dining, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com and ante up for fun.
Hey gang, a tougher housing market means it's crucial to hire the right agent to sell your home at maximum price. That's why I recommend Chad and Sandy Newman. Chad and Sandy have the plan and experience to sell your home fast and, most importantly for you, get maximum cash. Listen, problems lead to promises, lead to proof when you trust Chad and Sandy. Among those promises, Chad and Sandy, the only local real estate experts I trust and recommend, and this is why. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Problems that you think are problems are fixed with the promises of Chad and Sandy. Let's go now to some proof. Justin and Palatka. I was trapped in a mortgage with my ex-wife on a home that didn't sell for 184 days with another realtor. Finally, we hired Chad and Sandy, and the difference was instantaneous. We had multiple offers in 7 days and sold and closed in 16. So just do this, gang. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and summer's here on the First Coast. You know, long days, short sleeves, lazy summer afternoons, and soaring temperatures that can do a number on your AC. But do what I did and plan ahead with an expert AC tune-up from Fenwick Home Services to avoid those costly summer breakdowns. If you've heard me say this once, you've heard it 1,000 times. Hope is not a plan. That's why Fenwick Home Services has you covered with same-day service, including maintenance plans, free same-day estimates, and guaranteed repairs. Expert technicians you can trust will keep you and your family cool and comfortable all year long and help you breathe easier and avoid costly breakdowns. Call day or night, 24/7, and Fenwick's certified technicians will get the job done right the first time. Book your expert tune-up today and avoid costly breakdowns tomorrow. Plan ahead instead of hoping for the best. Online at FenwickHomeservices.com. That's FenwickHomeservices.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, I'm David Lane, your average everyday Joe. I'm 5 months out of my back surgery with Southeast Orthopedic, and I'm doing great. Thanks to Dr. Herford and his staff at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Get ready to swing into the hottest party this summer. Join First Tee North Florida at the Yard June 13th for the Summer Soiree. We're bringing the spirit of the Pacific Islands to Ponte Vedra with a Hawaiian luau-themed event. Enjoy family-friendly fun, including Hawaiian food trucks, live music, craft cocktails, golf games, raffle prizes, and more. The First Tee Summer Soiree provides the perfect blend of golf, party, and philanthropy. All proceeds benefit the impactful programs of the First Tee. Visit firstteenorthflorida.org/summer soiree to secure your tickets today.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Jaguars wide receivers coach Chad Hall spoke on Wednesday about the deep ball skills of rookie Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's transitioned over well. I mean, he can track the ball well. He sees the ball well downfield. He can chase it down. He has good body flexibility where he can turn for back shoulder. So I think that part of his game we knew we had.
Jags wide receivers coach Chad Hall on first-round rookie Brian Thomas Jr. You can check out the full video on our 1010XL Jaguars YouTube page. It's right now 96 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler this summer with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
What, sir?
James. Earn this. Earn it.
Well, you think of that sound from Saving Private Ryan, you think of D-Day and the celebration, or I don't know whether that's the proper term for it, the services recognition today. 80 years ago, the invasion of Normandy took place, June 6th, 1944. It's crazy when you see what they had to do, the sacrifice they made, and you're just talking about a bunch of individuals, young men, going into a situation where they knew they probably did not have a very good chance to come out alive. And it's crazy the way they set it up today with the coverage on the shores there is that you were somewhere in the range of 97 years old to 104. Might have been 105 that were there. Close to 200 were there today to celebrate 80 years since that invasion, since D-Day, the longest day. It's just crazy when you think about it, Matt, that the sacrifice was tremendous.
I tell this story every year, and it never gets old, man. I went to Normandy and had a great tour, and we'd go down on the beach, and the water's just lapping at your feet, and he's explaining what's going on. He says, now turn around. You turn around, you see all those German pillboxes with all those huge guns in them. And he said they got on that beachhead and got past those guns because we had more men than they had bullets.
Yeah.
They won that battle because we had more men than they had bullets. Think about that. That's just insanity.
And so listen to this, Leon. Every year on the anniversary of D-Day, French citizens take sand from Omaha Beach and rub it onto the gravestones of fallen soldiers who gave their lives to liberate Europe. It gives the letters a golden shine, and you can see them doing it each year. It's something else. It's kind of chilling,
Yeah, we saved their ass, basically.
Yeah.
I just someone had to say it.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. But it's great because, as it was said in movie form, not for real. At least we don't know. The great line from Patton: "I'd rather have the German army in front of me than the French army behind me." So they had that belief back then that they needed to come quick.
I mean, to be fair to the French, they did help us in the Revolutionary War.
They did. Yes, but it was just such a great line.
Millions. Yeah. Okay. Yes, that was a great.
You can't get in the way of a great line. But I was looking at some of the numbers, and they just said that just the amount of contributions from the United Kingdom, from Canada, which needs to be recognized as obviously the United States, and then the other allied forces, something else when you think about it. The greatest generation, as we have said. So a salute to the military. We'll never stop doing that. At least, I feel like it should always be said, the ultimate sacrifice in everything that they do day in and day out to preserve our freedom. All right, so let's get back to what we were talking about. RJ, the X poll, throw it out there, and we're going to get into some Jaguar talk. But we started out with the NBA, Celtics, Mavericks. Who you like in the game tonight? Who you like overall in the series?
Absolutely. Our XL Primetime X poll question brought to you by the good folks at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. Who do you have winning the NBA Finals, and in how many games? Currently, right now, almost a runaway, 67% of the vote have the Dallas Mavericks winning this series.
I guess I am surprised. I hope you all are right because I'm leaning on that side, but now I am 100% worried about my pick because that many people, that's 2 out of 3 leaning on the Dallas side. You XL Primetimers, okay? You twofers. Hopefully you know what you're talking about because that's at least the side I was looking at because you could get decent odds going against the Boston Celtics and rooting against the Celtics and putting a little something on it. That's twice the motivation, Leon.
You take the streaky team. The Mavs are the hot team right now.
They're kind of hot.
Yeah, you take the hot team. Hopefully that's got some carryover in the championship.
Yeah, and here's what you got to figure out: which one of these teams went through the toughest, the toughest slate, getting to the finals, and which one of them did better work against the slate they had to go up against. And unfortunately for the Indiana Pacers, with Halliburton hurt and just a couple of bad breaks that they had, the Boston Celtics were able to take care of business against maybe a lesser manned team. I don't know whether that means they're not quite as ready as the Dallas Mavericks are. We'll find out tonight. We'll find out. All right, let's get to a little bit of chatter from the assistant coaches that were available yesterday. And our 1010XLers were down there talking to a handful of them. And the idea, and let's go to Phil Rauscher first, the idea is that this football team on the offensive side needs to be able to turn a major corner. We have said it so many different ways. If this team doesn't figure out a way to get the job done up front, then you are not going to see a whole hell of a lot change with this football team. You're not. So short yardage struggles. It's a basic question. Phil Rauscher answering the question, I'm guessing, on how they're going to solve that problem.
The perception is we're not good at it. and perception is normally reality. So let's get better at that. You know, if we convert more 3rd and 1s, we're going to be a better football team. So we just need to, again, that goes into building an identity, not being a mixed bag of stuff, and deciding we're just going to pound somebody for 3 feet.
Yeah, I got to see it, bro. I can't unsee what I saw last year. I can't unsee what I saw.
Yeah.
And listen,
He said the perception. It's not a perception, bro.
He agreed. He said
reality.
perception is reality. He agreed.
Yeah, I can't unsee what I saw. And listen, when it comes down to getting 2 and 3 yards, man, that's just toughness. That's just pulling up your big boy pants and buckling up and going to work. Yeah. That's all that is.
I'm tougher than you.
Yeah, I'm tougher. Yeah. If I whoop my man, we win.
Yeah.
And if everybody across the board thinks that same way, then that's how you get first downs. That's how you get the 2 and 3 yards. That's just being tougher than the guy in front of you. And as so often, so many times last year, especially down the stretch, this team got out-toughed. So how do you simulate toughness? You don't. You either got it or you don't.
Yeah, from December 1 on, they were beaten, battered, and bruised. They were. They were humbled. They were showing up. You can come up with any description. They got beaten up, manhandled, physically.
But the question is how then? How do they get tougher? How do they get that mentality?
Well,
I know you keep saying they don't, but something has to happen.
Bro, you can't simulate. You can't simulate that kind of stuff anymore in practice.
That's true.
That's
a big discussion right now.
So you can't hit, what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
So the best way to do that is to hit.
If we get, I'm just giving an example on the TC's realm or even on the Bill Cowell's realm. If we got out physical, which we rarely did, but if we did, there were simulations in practice where hit the sled more, shoots more, middle drill, inside run.
Oh, you're not even talking on each other. You're talking just drills.
Just drills, and we would go some days in practice. It was days in practice with Pittsburgh. If we couldn't rush the ball on the team, where the whole practice we spent running, wide receivers on the sideline. The whole practice was just run the football. Run the football.
Because you're going to get it right.
You're going to get it right.
You're going to figure it out.
No. There's not a question if you're going to get it.
Right.
It's going to work. So I mean, you can't do that anymore. You can't simulate toughness.
All right. So then, how do they do it?
But see, here's the thing, though. The teams that have success at it obviously are doing something different. The best offensive lines in the NFL, the Ravens, the Niners, the Lions, they're built differently. Those guys are built differently. I'm not sure if they're doing anything different than what we are doing.
Do they just have better players, maybe?
There it is.
Well, Panay Sewell.
They got better players.
Ever heard of him? Yeah.
Yeah, they're tough.
And that's the personnel department. That's the Brad Holmes department up in Detroit, making those decisions and making sure that they have guys.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing when John Lynch and those guys said, hey, Trent Williams, you want out of Washington?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to figure out a way to get you, figure out a way to pay you, and you're going to stay. You're not just going to come here for a little while. You're going to come here and stay, which is what they did. And we can go down the line with Baltimore and what the other guys have done. So here's another from Rouser.
Hang on. So now I'm a little concerned.
Yeah?
Because basically what Leon's saying is you're not going to get any better. You're not going to get any tougher.
Well, hang on now. But what I'm hearing from Leon is that you are kind of what you are.
Right. You are what you are.
But coaching and demands on these players can be better.
You have to. Only way you can tempo. I don't know if that equates to toughness, but it's got to be a period, a point in time in practice where tempo, where you run play here, run play here, run play here, just to send a message.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, those are kind of things that you can equate to toughness.
Okay, let's get to the other part of this. Doug Peterson needs to know that this team needs to be tougher, and they need to be able to run the football, not when they need to, when they want to.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's make that the 10-10 take, because I like that one. You need to be able to run the ball when you want to, not just when you need to.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
You might be running Sonny's by the time you knock off work so you can get you some good grub. They've been working on it, making sure it's ready to go when you order it up. Curbside, delivery, dine-in, whatever it might be. Just get you some good barbecue from Sonny's. So when you need to or when you want to, you got to be able to do both. Just think about that. We need a 3rd and 1. We know how to get it. That has to be the mindset of this football team. In the huddle, ETN, it's yours. We need it. We're going to get it. And then when we want to, we can start to lean on defenses. I'm not guaranteeing at all that this football team can do that, but that's where they need to get to where they can trust their game plan, they can trust their players. And I do believe Doug realized at some point we can't run the damn ball, and Press Taylor's call sheet didn't have enough run plays in it. Let's all be honest. You start going back and thinking about how few run plays there were when they had success and then when they just abandoned it. This team obviously needs to make sure that they run the football when they need to and when they want to. That's the 10-10 take.
I think the best game that I saw last year wasn't even a professional football game where I saw a team impose its will on it. And it was a college game where Michigan played Penn State in the second half. That coach basically said, listen, we are going to run the ball every play. And Michigan's offensive, and if you tell the offensive line that, you tell the offensive line, oh, we're going to let you impose your will on this team, and we're just going to run the ball, they love it. Offensive linemen love to run block more than the pass. You know why? Because when you run block, you're imposing your will on your opponent.
You're aggressive.
You're aggressive.
You're moving forward.
Exactly.
When you're pass block, you're always going
You're retreating.
back.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely. So if you find an offense, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. If you find an offensive lineman who likes to pass protect before run blocking,
you don't want.
Don't draft him.
You're in trouble.
You're in
And
trouble.
by the way, like the Javon Fosters of the world, he looks like he's got that big trunk that you always talk about, and that Matty refers to with the big A, the big thighs. That type of guy you need on that line of scrimmage. And Anton Harrison is that type of guy. He looked pretty good last year. All right, one more from Phil Rauscher, and then we'll get to a couple of other of these assistant coaches. And basically the depth chart. And I hope this is a good soundbite, but he says it's still open. That means competition. That means it should be there during this time of the year to figure out who's who and what's what.
Perception is like, the tackle positions are locked up, but like the depth chart is open. We got to play the best five, however that plays out. Now, it hasn't been like Walker's played a lot of positions for us since he's been here, and that maybe hasn't been fair to him. You know what I mean? Like he's been to guard, he's been to there, he's been to here. Like, hey, do this, do that, and he's, you know what? Every dime he's been okay, and he goes and he does it to the best he can. So now that he can kind of put himself in one spot and let's go compete, let's go see where we're at and see how that plays out. So there's a lot of time left before our first game in terms of competition for us, and then we can go throw it out there against somebody else.
Yeah, that makes sense to say. I mean, you don't want guys. You as a coaching staff, you kind of know who your guys are, right?
He knows, but now he's trying to get the most out of every one of them.
Absolutely. You don't want them to be comfortable. You want them to think that there's a competition, but going into any OTAs or mini camp or training camp, you can assess who you want guys when and where, but you don't ever want them to feel comfortable with their position.
All right,
I bet they would like to see Cooper Hodges take that left guard spot, just because he's got a little nastiness to him, man.
Well,
I don't know if he's good enough to do it. All I'm saying is, I when I hear him say all five are open, I agree with you guys. It's a lot of motivation for the guys that they expect will be the guys. But if he's not an idiot, he watched that group last year, right?
Well,
so
he didn't just watch him; he coached them.
Right. So I mean, my point is, if they really were as
well.
excited as Cooper Hodges as we heard last year, and he is completely healthy. If he is completely healthy in camp this year, I would do everything I can to give him the best look possible to win that job.
Yeah. So he will. At least you hope that that's what they're doing. One more. I said we were going to move on, but one more because the play of Walker Little. He made it sound at least a little bit, Leon, like don't think Walker Little can't compete for one of these starting jobs. And he says don't just assume these tackle spots are. And I know he's playing the game, but at least this one soundbite about Walker Little's tape to this point, and he thinks he's playing good.
He's got good tape, whatever. And at the end of the day, I'm sure he'll be rewarded for what he's put on tape. It's not hard to coach Walker. Walker does exactly what you ask him to do, and he does it really, really well. And I think Walker understands the importance of this season to his personal life in terms of like where the contract and different things go.
Yeah, better believe it. This is salad time.
I think it's interesting that that Roush finally publicly said that. Like I was saying that months ago. It's not like what they did to him is not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've asked him to play multiple positions, and to Leon's point, I get it. You just go play and play well. But this is a guy who is a left tackle, and you're asking him to play right tackle, and you're asking him to play left guard. And there's just a lot going on for this cat, and he's never really been in a situation where he can play that position. Period.
Yeah.
And when he has had a chance to play left tackle, period, he's played it well.
Yeah, well, I agree with you, but I mean, if Walker Little was in a situation to where he locked down a position, he wouldn't be scrambling.
Right, he'd have forced their hand. Right,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't disagree with that.
Yeah, so I mean, but he when he said that this year for him is going to affect him personally, there's a difference between, like I said, swing tackle money.
You better believe it.
And elite tackle money. So I mean, he's got to make the decision.
Big difference.
Big difference. So he's got to make the decision on what he wants to be moving forward in his career.
Yeah, and I don't want to dispatch depth. I don't want to get rid of it. But if they go into training camp and he is battling with Cam Robinson, because you got to remember, the reason why he hasn't locked down a job is because Cam has been pretty good. Cam has proven to be a leader and good when healthy and good when not being suspended. So he's not necessarily beat out the best tackle on this roster, but he still may be a valuable player. Either one of those guys could get dealt if somebody else has an injury.
Leon's been saying it all spring and summer. You cannot, if you're Walker Little, you cannot sit there and be a swing tackle. You cannot sit on the bench in your contract here. You can't.
But either one of those guys could be dealt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen.
In other words,
Walker
could be part of a trade. This team could get a good net for him, and he could get that big payday.
And listen. Let's not. The Trevor effect is factored in too as well. Who does Trevor have more faith in on his blind side?
Yeah.
That's a good point. All right, so you heard from Rauscher. Let's hear from Bill Shuey. We might even get Chad Hall, the wide receiver coach, in as well. But just thoughts on Trayvon Walker, where he's coming along, what they think of some of these other guys. Mike McCoy, the quarterback's coach, as far as cleaning up Trevor's INTs. I think that's worth hearing. We'll do that coming up on XL Primetime. Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Searcy, and RJ. Anytime you want to check us out on the stream, just go to YouTube, search XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealers Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Me, Frank.
Frank Franchi.
I just think about baseball.
With Hayes Carline.
How about that?
They are the Franchi Show.
What's wrong with this picture? You may not look like a winning team, but you are one.
Afternoons on 1010XL.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Get this thing unwrapped here.
Duval! Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. Johns County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
He's a professor of quarterback play, and class is in session.
We want to take you into the lab so you can learn more about the science of quarterback.
Denny Thompson, Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loans, and personal loans. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Your cooling system isn't working. Maybe somebody showed up with a portable electronic device. Then they discussed with you what your options are. Maybe they gave you an estimate that seems like an awful lot of money. What's the smart thing to do? When the situation merits a second opinion, get a Mike Merritt opinion. Yes, the Mike Merritt Comfort Team shows up with hand tools. We've never been able to fix an air conditioning problem with a tablet. Mike Merritt has been the trusted name for more than 30 years because there's never any hocus pocus. The Merritt team will walk you through the diagnostic steps up close and personal and show you exactly what you need. And the Mike Merritt price is likely to be far less because there's never an overtime charge, and the Merritt team doesn't work on commission. So remember, when it comes to the health of your cooling system, a second opinion can only help, and a Mike Merritt opinion can save you money. Florida license CACO 50384.
Life has its share of challenges, and when it puts you to the test, make sure you reach out to Rebound Rehabilitation to give you the quickest path back to full health and confidence. Rebound Rehab, specializing in helping patients overcome back pain and sciatica, arthritis, and fibromyalgia, just to name a few. Rebound Rehab, locations covering the entire First Coast, getting you back in control with a pain-free life. Sports injury, workplace injury, whatever it might be, you can rebound. Log on to reboundrehab.com for more info.
Mia here. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you never miss a shot to cash in on a play. You can even live stream and bet on the games right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you'll need to decide, cash out or let it ride. MyBookie really makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays. And new boosts are now posted on the daily. It's more than just a sportsbook. Buzzer beaters, underdog upsets, and a community to share in all of the sweats. Give yourself a head start today and play with house money using promo code 1010XL when you make your first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Hey folks, it's Mike Dempsey for Pella Windows and Doors. Now you probably heard me mention that errant golf ball that led us to replace our windows. And obviously, if I'm investing in my home's appearance and comfort, I want the best. Well, now my new Pella windows are installed and they look fantastic. And we've already noticed the difference in outside noise reduction and energy savings. So if you need to replace your windows or doors, visit my friends at the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway or check them out online at PellaJacks.com. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, plenty off the text line that we will get to before our day is done. It will include some choices when it comes to the NBA Finals tonight. Danny Hurley, maybe, heading to L.A. LeBron running off coaches. The NIL world. We'll try and get to all of them. And we'll probably hit a few in the Jaguars world after we air a couple of more sound bites from these assistant coaches. Kind of interesting. Mike McCoy is... If you looked at it, it's kind of like a three-headed monster on offense. Doug Peterson being an offensive guy, Press Taylor being the offensive coordinator, and then Mike McCoy being the quarterback's coach. Mike McCoy, former head coach in the National Football League. So I want to get to him in a second. But first, Bill Shuey. he was one of the guys that was kept on the defensive side, outside linebackers coach. Gets a lot of credit for Josh Allen and the work he did in developing Trayvon. So here's Shuey on where Trayvon is right now as far as coming in and set up to have a good year.
He's 100% vested. He's 100% in. He's 100% focused. I do believe you can coach effort. Here's the thing on that. Like, you hear the old adage that you're either coaching it or you're allowing it to happen sometimes. And so there's some guys that are innately hustlers. And innately they play hard. And Trayvon's one of those guys. But so with him, you try to encourage him to continue to do what he's doing, and then maybe you find moments, you pick and choose your moments to try to encourage him to maybe go a little bit harder, a little bit further, whatever it might be.
How much bigger a year can he have?
I mean, he got as big as years as he wanted. I mean, he had 10 sacks last year. And you could clearly see from the middle of the season towards the later part of the season, he was clearly developing more attack angles, more moves, more strategies, all that kind of stuff. And that's just putting in work in practice. That's just putting in work in practice. I mean, he had 10 sacks this year. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised this year if he has 13, 12 and a half.
So you agree
like
that coaching effort too? That you
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. I mean, some coaches. I mean, there's a. I don't think they do it out here, but they do like pursuit drill. There's a pursuit drill that they still run in some of the high schools and colleges or whatever, where they have a guy running, and then they have a guy. You take your angle and make sure you touch the guy, the running back, or whatever. I mean, it's just little stuff like that. You can coach effort. You can make sure the guy's running the plays or running down plays or finishing to the echo of the whistle. That kind of stuff. You can coach that kind of stuff.
I do feel like being coached by the same guy and playing the same position for 2 years is helping Trayvon tremendously, because he's not moving all over the place like he was with Will and Kirby in Athens.
I think that what has happened with Trayvon Walker is what you hope will happen with any, and you hate to use this word because it's seen as like this dirty word, any project you get, because he was a project. Okay, I don't care if he's number 1 overall. He was a project.
Yeah, because of everywhere he played.
Yeah, the limited amount of reps he got, the limited amount of consistent reps at one position that he got. So he certainly was a project type guy. But I think, like I said, what has happened to him in 2 years is what you dream of. If you're an NFL GM and you're drafting a guy and you think this guy has a gigantic ceiling and he's not even close there yet. And I think that's where he is right now. And it didn't even early last year was kind of like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden it's like it just clicked. It just hit. And then he became this guy that was not only a presence off the edge as a pass rusher, which is important, but he really then started to become a guy that you couldn't run at, and a guy that would chase. And now he's got it all. He's done all three now. He's great against the run. He chases and he's disruptive off the edge.
So add to me, Leon, like you said, you're starting to understand your moves. You're seeing a little more success. You're getting stronger. You're winning those battles. Then belief starts to get added in there. What can he do with that in his third year?
I mean, I try to explain to people it's a phenomenon that I really can't explain it. The game just slows down. The more you put the effort in practice, the more you watch film, the more you pick up on tendencies and stuff like that. I don't know. You see that, like, as an offensive lineman, I train, I practice the way I play. All right, so I train myself to accelerate all the time or whatever. So now I'm seeing moves before, I can't really, it's a phenomenon I can't explain. Trayvon's going to be in that same situation now. He's going to be in a situation right now where he gets it, and now he's just going to be reacting.
And that's that belief.
And exactly. He's going to be reacting. You got to take into consideration the Josh Allen factor. Yeah, I don't care. I know they're teammates, but they're competitors too.
Yeah.
The last thing he wants to do is see him over there eating, and he's not eating. All right. Bo, I ain't like to see Bo eat. I like to see Bo eat, but I want to eat too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that.
We're sitting at the same table.
I get that.
So, I mean, the competitive side between, although your teammates, you're competitors. You want to outduel each other. So Josh Allen having the kind of season he had, he said, hey, listen, I want to see at the table too.
I will say this right now. I'm going on the record right now, and I'll say this. I actually think there's a very good chance that their seasons flop, that Trayvon becomes the guy with the high sack total, and that Josh becomes the guy at 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there.
It's interesting. I was going to ask you, and that's a good one to keep an eye on. But I'm wondering, there were only a dozen other sacks recorded by this football team.
Right, and that's
outside
the key.
of
Right.
what
Where else does
Josh
it come
and
from?
Trayvon
Right,
did.
right.
And so I'm expecting a hell of a lot to come from outside of 41 and 44. It better.
Well, I mean, I tell
So
you
I wouldn't
what.
be surprised if their numbers actually
I
tick
would,
down
yeah,
a little bit.
listen, I'll take 13 and 12, but we get 60.
Sure.
You know, I kept saying I don't think you can't expect 27 and a half again. I'm not sure you can. Honestly,
Keep asking for it.
because
yeah.
I think Trayvon Walker's going to have a big year, big year, and if he does, and Josh Allen just becomes this guy that is going to every year get
Just
you
does it.
12 sacks.
Yeah.
That's he's worth the 150 then. Honestly,
That'd be
So-
beautiful if it could happen.
So you'd rather take the 27 and a half and 40, or would you take the 25 and 60?
no, I'd rather them get like
I'm
55
on that
sacks.
camp.
Is what I'd rather them get.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, I earlier a few months ago I said I don't know if you can expect 27 and a half, and now I'm thinking I think you probably can, because I think Trayvon Walker's going to be that much better. That's my point with that. Now, can they find other guys? Can they find, do they get 6 from Armstead? Do they get 6 from Devin Lloyd? Does Cisco add 4? Just stuff like that. How do you get to that 50 number? If they get to 50 sacks, they're going to be a good defense.
Yeah, and I would think north of 4 dozen is where you need to be to know that you've made an impact on the quarterback, that you forced him to make quicker decisions. That helps your secondary instead of giving up yards after yards after yards, which is what they did down the stretch. All right, Mike McCoy, quarterback's coach. Lots of Trevor's INTs were not his fault. Hold on a minute. Let's hear this from Mike McCoy.
There's a number of interceptions at the end of every year. They're not all on Trevor Lawrence. There's at the end of a game or end of a half, you're throwing the ball up in a Hail Mary situation sometimes, and there's an interception. And I'm not saying these things happen to him. Or end of a game, it's not a lot of time left, and you got to get a big chunk. You're down 2, you're going to throw some balls, or you get hit throwing the ball. Well, I don't necessarily think those aren't always on a quarterback. There's tip balls, whether it's a tip ball at the line of scrimmage or a receiver, a ball goes off of his hand. Those sometimes are misleading.
Nowhere there did I hear Trevor has a hand in some of this. Paging Mike McCoy. I couldn't wait for this to be Matt's stage after hearing that. None of it was Trevor's fault.
Look, and you guys call me a Trevor, homer, whatever. I don't like it. He needs the pressure needs to be on him, and he's right. I'm not saying Mike McCoy's wrong. He's right.
Yeah.
He's right. There are interceptions that aren't his fault. There's also 21 fumbles that are.
Yeah.
Right. So I just feel like that's giving him an excuse, and I don't think Trevor needs an excuse. And frankly, I don't think Trevor wants an excuse. I think Trevor's heard enough in this offseason about questioning whether he's got it or not, that he will be a very motivated guy in camp, very motivated. And if look, we saw him at OTA on Monday. I'm telling you, he did not miss a throw out there on Monday, and he probably made how many throws? 40, 45.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he looked good. And
so,
I don't want to give him an excuse.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
my point.
Yeah.
I do not want to give
You know
him
what
an
the
excuse.
O-line coach should have said? You know what? We gave up a lot of sacks, but a lot of those sacks were not fault. Trevor held on the ball.
Right, imagine that.
You know what I'm saying? Come
Imagine
on,
that,
bro.
right?
Come on.
Yeah. And then at some point, I was waiting for him to say that the receiver ran the wrong route. He wouldn't go there, but he just said
That
drops.
was next. But I mean, he is to a point. He's right. There are some throws that are they're game throws. It just happens.
Right, but we're
But
only
you don't-
talking about.
Right, but I think when you say that, I think you kind of open the door a little bit to excusing other things too, and I don't want any excuses out.
No, I agree. I think we're all 100% on board on that. It wasn't acceptable. It wasn't good enough. That's it. And so now you got to get more.
And
Let's go around.
here's another thing, though. If you're a competitor, you don't want to hear your coach say that. I mean, for
Right,
real.
'cause he's making an excuse
exactly,
for you,
because
right.
as a competitor, you just say, I need a man up. I just got to play better. And I hope Trevor's that way. I hope when Trevor heard that, he's like, Coach, why'd you say that? I mean, I'm just saying, because like I said, I don't want my offensive line coach to say, well, Searcy gave up that sack because that happened. No, Searcy gave up that sack because he needed to play better. Just beyond, I need to play better.
Not only that, Trevor knows when it's a football play. You get an interception. That's just a football play, man, for that pick. Or if it's the end of the first half, that's the pick. Who cares? He knows those things. Like they don't even, that doesn't even need to be said. That's a given, you know? My kind of thing is, like I said earlier, I think when you say that, that kind of infers that you're opening the door for something else.
Right. None of it
That's
was
all.
yours. Yeah, none of it was on you. And Doug Peterson, I give him credit. He did say it's got to be cleaned up, and it's on Trevor. Trevor knows that. He basically said it, and then took ownership as well of some of the bad decisions when it came to the offense.
Yeah, and here's another thing too, and I don't want to keep harping on Trevor, but other players make plays too. Like corners make good breaks on balls, so there's interceptions there too. You know, there are defensive players that strip the ball. That's a good play by a player. That's what I mean by a football. But there are football plays out there that you can't avoid, period. Right?
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
All right, we will keep it going. We're about to wrap our show up. We got a couple of more on the text line as far as the Jags are concerned that we will get to, and then also back to some of the NIL chatter in the transfer portal world. XL Primetime hanging out till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Franchise Show will be coming up then.
Cruising with XL Prime Time in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Jacksonville's home for Florida Gators baseball.
The Gators advance to the Super Regional for a best-of-3 series against the Tigers in Clemson, Saturday at 2 and Sunday at 2:30 on 1010 a.m.
Hey, I'm not going to pretend I know the specific problems you might be facing when it comes to the prospect of selling your home. Maybe you need more space for your office or a growing family. Perhaps you're worried about selling for less money with a low-ball, out-of-state, instant offer. It's a tougher market. It means it's crucial to hire the right agents to sell your home and maximize your price, and that's why I'm recommending Chad and Sandy Newman, chadandsandy.com. They have the plan and experience to get your home sold fast and get it sold for maximum cash. In fact, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Can you have any more comfort and security than that? Take Tanya in Palencia. I needed to sell my condo fast. I bought a new construction home thinking I had plenty of time to sell. But I listed with another realtor and I got no showings and no offers. I ended up paying 2 mortgages. I then hired Chad and Sandy. I got offers in days and closed in under 30. Go to chadandsandy.com and take advantage of chadandsandy.com.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. Panini is already into Series 11 of their Kids Crate packages. This one has 3 blasters and a hanger pack, with 3 of the 4 being football cards from 2023. Kids Crates at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. Look, I depend on South State for so many things: personal accounts, small business banking, and banking for our nonprofit. South State Bank can help you reach all your financial goals too, whether you're just starting out or focused on financial planning. South State offers convenience with their online and mobile banking. You should check out South State Bank, as they were recently recognized by Forbes as one of America's best banks. That's South State, banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Cataracts are the leading cause of vision loss in the United States and blindness worldwide. Hicken here for Bowdnine Associates. June is Cataract Awareness Month. Cataracts are a condition that causes the eye's lens to become cloudy, which can block or change the way light passes through the eye. Bowdnine is here to take care of you or someone you know who are experiencing faded colors, intensified brightness to light, or poor night vision. Call or visit Bowdnine.com to schedule your consultation. Bowdnine Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 6, 2018, LeBron James passes Michael Jordan's record for most 30-point games in NBA playoff history.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Are you tired of living with constant pain from torn ligaments or nagging tendinitis and bothersome joint pain? Say goodbye to endless medications and invasive surgeries. Go BioTarget Regenerative Treatment is available only at injury care centers. Their innovative approach helps you recover faster and get back to doing what you love without drugs or surgery. Don't just treat the symptoms, target the root cause with BioTarget. Visit GoBioTarget.com to learn more and schedule your appointment today.
All right, get those boats ready. The Dailies Old School Kingfish Shootout presented by Yellowfin is coming soon to St. Augustine. It's June 8th. Just go to oldschoolkingfish.com. You can find out more. The grand prize is a yellowfin bay boat. And with limited boundaries, no bait buying, and no checkout, it is seriously old school. That's why it's the Old School Kingfish Shootout. Here's how you do it. You go online, you sign up, and you become part of what is going to a terrific event. It's the Old School Kingfish Shootout. Go to oldschoolkingfish.com.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our returning champion, a basketball court sweat mopper from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Lewis Cramp.
Great to be back, Merv.
There's only one category left on the board, Lewis. People you can trust to repair your air conditioner. Your 10 seconds starts now.
Well, I'm pretty handy with tools around. Sorry. Right, so my Uncle Steve used to fix transmissions, so maybe he could... Okay, sorry. I guess just call the guys at Bueller?
That's right, Lewis. The highly trained technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing have the tools and the experience to service any make and model of home air conditioner to make sure that you are cool.
You sure I can't just have a quick...
Yeah, we're done for today.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
This is kind of an interesting one, and I don't know whether it deserves a that or not. It might, as I scan it and read it. It's kind of a trippy one. But tonight, what's your gut, Leon? Steal game one or get close, serve notice? How does it play out? NBA Finals game one tonight.
I'm going with the Mavs to steal game one.
Okay, and so because we're all on the Mavs side, which is just crazy, they're a 6.5-point dog. You're going to go ahead and get them to steal one,
yep.
huh?
I got them stealing one.
Matt?
Boston always has a tendency to.
I think they're both going to steal, and then the Mavs are going to steal again late in the series. That's how they're going to win in 7. So I don't know if it's going to be this game or 2, but they're going to steal one of these 2 in the Garden.
Yeah, and that's how I'm looking at it. If you get one and you get out of there, because there's no reason to think that the Boston Celtics can't do the exact same thing in Dallas, because it's weird the way things have unfolded with Boston. At times it looks like they're going to lose it in their own house. The Mavericks have been able to protect better, I feel like, than Boston has at home. But anyway, that's going to be an interesting one to find out. RJ, open gym Saturdays at noon. Who you got, man, tonight?
Tonight I'm going to take the Boston Celtics. I think just the energy is going to be there. They're at home, game 1 of the NBA Finals. I think for Dallas, they may have to just kind of understand where they're at. Game 1 by game 2, I think all the jitters are gone, and they take game 2 in Boston.
Yeah, and that's really the thing you're trying to figure out is just who's going to gain the upper hand in terms of tempo, make things happen early, who's going to be able to get up with a great scoring night. Are you going to find that red-hot guy like a guy just sitting right there on the edge of the arc, ready to just rein him in, like a White or some of these guys that can get red hot. All right, I want you guys to listen to this. Give me a that, because I'm looking at him like, is this real?
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
ML Football putting this out, and this comes from a report from the Green Light, and it says, the NFL is telling the Packers and the Eagles players that they are not allowed to wear the color green in Brazil for the opener due to gangs. Teams will likely be forced to stay in the hotel all week and travel in armored vehicles, per Josh Jacobs.
So what are they?
What is going on?
So they're both going to wear like all white uniforms?
I guess you might go with the silver side of Philly.
And we picked this country. Why?
What?
I mean, did anybody do their research? Huh? Come on, bro.
I'm like, what is going on? And this is Josh Jacobs saying it on the Greenlight podcast. I've never heard of anything like that. In green, in Brazil, gang-related reasons, and they will not allow them.
So any green.
Green is obviously a major color for both teams.
It's the color for both teams, really.
And so it's going to be white and gold and maybe silver and white. I'm just guessing.
Wow.
That's
what
tricky.
about the helmet? Like what
I was
the
gonna say,
Eagles going to do with the helmet?
You got a green helmet. They're
going to do a white helmet with the silver eagle?
I don't know. They don't have alternate helmets that I can think of.
Well, they're going to have to figure
right
it out.
Now, Roger Goodell's looking around going, what the hey? What just happened?
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, my takeaway is NIL's not ruling college sports. It's not ruining it. Everything's fine. It's still strong. It's going to get stronger. Just share the wealth. Everything's okay.
Well, that was my takeaway too. Quit treating NIL like the boogeyman. All right, y'all had a nice little run for all these years. Let these kids make this bread, and you just embrace it. Give away a little of your power. I know you're struggling to let it go, but you're gonna have to let it go eventually.
My takeaway is how much is the NIL going to give Graham Mertz to win more than 4.5? The new betting lines are out, and the Gators are down to an over-under win total of 4.5. That is scary bad. That means you better start thinking about playing DJ Lagway right away. That's what I think. We'll find out, but that's something else. All right, we're done. We had a good time. You got the Francis Show coming up next. It'll take you till 6 into the night with Rick Ballou, Hacker After Dark. You're loaded up on the Superstation throughout your day and evenings. We appreciate it for sure. Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Searcy, RJ Saunders. You got the Francis Show coming up